Hi guys, today I wanted to talk to you about the difference between websites and landing pages and why I prefer landing pages 100 times over when we're dealing with selling our products. So I guess the first step in thinking about this is to understand what is a website versus what is a landing page. So a website and landing page, they have two completely different purposes, and that doesn't mean that they cannot work in conjunction. They can work in conjunction. They can actually help each other if you do it correctly. So the first intention of a website really is to inform your customers. The intention of a landing page is to sell to customers. Two completely different things, guys. So if you have an e-commerce business, for example, that could be helpful in having that on a website. So if you have several products and they're all going to be listed, and say, for example, someone was shopping for clothing, they're going to go to your website, they know it's a clothing website, there's a bunch of different options that they can pick to buy, and then they can actually go to their shopping cart and buy something in their cart. So that is probably the only example where I would say that it can really work to have a website as opposed to simply a landing page. Services. So if you want to show your customers like all your services at once, and that so they can be like, oh, you have one-on-one consulting, you have one-to-many consulting, you've got a done-for-you service, you've got a DIY service. So it's great in terms of the informing aspect. So you can inform people about it. You can also inform people about your locations and showcase things like your culture, your About Us page, your mission, your vision, like all of those things that are going to, talk about like what your business is and what you're about and like who your values are and who this is for. However, so there is another thing would be like your website might talk about different offers in terms of like it might have research components. There could be custom functions on there, things that you've organized. They might be able to schedule something out for themselves, like schedule a call or schedule a booking in. They might have a full store where you can shop for things. There could be a forum. There's so many things that you can put on a website. So that's what a website is. Here's the difference. A landing page is simply something that sells. If you wanted to go to a website and look at a bunch of different services, the chances are that you're going to look service 1, 2, 3, and then you're just going to like maybe go somewhere on the website, click off, oh, get distracted. What's that over there? Let's have a look at the mission and vision and whatever. And before you know it, you've left the website, you've gone somewhere else, you haven't clicked, you haven't bought, you haven't actually done anything. That's why website conversion rates are so low. So in some websites I've seen the conversion rates have been 1%. In others they've been like 5%. But ultimately that conversion rate can be super, super low, guys. Some of the landing page campaigns that I've seen have been like 20, 30, 40% even on some client pages. So it really does show that if a sales rate and a sales conversion rate is much, much higher on a landing page, then why are we not working them? Why are we not using them? So the first thing with a landing page, it stops distraction. There's literally only 1 or 2 things you can do. You can go to the first page, you can literally do one thing, download something, download the free report or the checklist or whatever it is that your lead magnet is. There's no navigation, there's no links, there's no blogs, there's absolutely nothing else they can do except for that one thing. Does that make sense? So they've gone there and they've done the one thing. It's taken them to a new page where they can do 2 things. They can do one thing, as in go to the next step, or they can go back to the last step. That's literally all they can do. There's no buttons, guys. There's no links. There's no blogs. There's nothing at all on that page distracting them. Yeah? Nothing taking their concentration. No other place they can go. It's distraction free for them. And that is something that's so rare in this age of like just being distracted by everything. Like we are literally on information overload constantly. So when we're trying to sell a product, we literally need to take that away. We need to take away that distraction component and go, here's what I got. You're going to decide here and now, do you want this thing or don't you want this thing? Yep. And then people are either going to click out of it or they're going to click back or they're going to click, yes, I want to buy. Does that make sense? So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing is this: one landing page for one offer. Do not make this complicated. Please don't. If you are a services consulting, say you're a coach, yep, and you offer a bunch of different services. So you do one-on-one bookings where people come into your business and you coach them one-on-one in like a consultation type request. You might offer like a group coaching session that you do like online or via Skype or Zoom or something like that. And then you might have a third area, like for myself, where, for example, I build funnels for clients where they give me a job and I just do the whole thing for them, right? So there's 3 different offerings. If I sent out a landing page and it had those 3 offerings, it would be like people would have to actually decide and choose for themselves. They'd have to be like, I don't know. Do I want to do the like consultation, or do I want to do the done for you program, or do I just want her to build this whole thing out for me? Yeah. So it's actually 3 different target segments, 3 different offers, and we wouldn't put them on the same page. So what I would do is build a landing page for each of those offers. For example, the first offer being the one-on-one consultation. I know who that target segment is more likely to be. So I'm simply going to send that offer to that target market. Yeah. Then I would build the second one. Then I would build the third one. The other thing is, it's so much easier to test a landing page than an entire website. Like when you have a website and you've built like hundreds of pages, right? How do you know like what elements do and don't work? Whereas when you build a landing page, I can quite simply and easily go, okay, my first landing page is going to have this headline, and my second landing page is going to have this headline. And let's just see which headline works best. Yeah. Go send a split test, 50 people like this, 50 people like this. Great. It's an even split. Or 20% like this and 80% like the other one. So I'm going to go with the other one. Does that make sense? Lot easier to use and to do. The types of landing page that you can use are pretty much for any product, for any launch, but more commonly used for a new product, for a launch of a product, for a discount code or a discount offer for something. So say you do have an e-commerce store, but you don't want to send them to your website. What you can actually, immediately you could actually advertise like a discount on Facebook and give them a discount offer, a discount code, and then they're going to go and use that on your landing page to get into your email chain. An event, so you could have a landing page just for an event where literally all they've got is here's the details in the event, here's maybe the video, and here's like where you click to buy. And so there are some of the different types. That brings me to my next point and final point. Your most important thing in marketing, your number one most important thing is capturing the client's email address, capturing the customer's email address. If I have their email address, I can market to them. I can find out about them. I can put stuff to their Facebook. I can do all kinds of things just based completely and solely on their email address. So if you have customers visiting your website, even if you have an email pop up or whatever, chances are they're not going to put their information in. A lead magnet is like a trade. So I'm trading my information, my downloadable, my stuff that I'm an expert at for your email address. So you're going to give me your email address, but you're actually going to get something that's really key and really valuable in return. I hope that makes sense. Excuse me. If you have any questions about lead magnets, landing pages or websites and how they all kind of work together, I would love to answer them. Please feel free to hit me up, give me a call or send me an email. Thanks so much, guys, and good luck with your landing pages.